What you are about to witness is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition. Throughout this video, there are several clips that are either unfocused, terribly lit, or just both. And I can no longer use the excuse of I was sick, because I'm not. So I just wanted to come on here and say, I am so sorry. And in my defense, honestly, yes, I should have triple checked, but I did focus on myself, but the camera just went rogue and decided to focus on the kitchen cabinet. So anyway, just wanted to come on here, say I am sorry. I hope that you can still enjoy the video somewhat. I will get my act together, hopefully soon. We are full in the spooky season, and what is one thing that I have completely neglected to do thus far? Baking. Yeah, that's right, making spooky treats. I haven't made a single solitary cookie, and that is a punishable crime. So today we are going to be making two adorable different spooky themed treats. For the longest time, I have been seeing these little homemade handheld pies, and they're usually ghosts. They're called blueberry ghosts or something so freaking cute. And I have been wanting to make those for forever. Apple, of course. And instead of ghosts, because one, I don't have a ghost cookie cutter that big, and two, I like to be a little different. We are going to make them with this guy. He's kind of too big for a cookie, so perfect for a pie. We're gonna use him. We're gonna do the front and then the back and fill this guy with some apples. And I'm gonna try to cut the eyes out, a little mouth, and then slits for the wings. I don't know how easy that's gonna be, but we're gonna try. The second thing I wanted to make is these stinking pumpkin cookies I have been seeing all over, and they are the cutout jack-o'-lantern, and they have this filling coming through. So stinking cute. I have been wanting to make these for several years now, and when I was strolling through Walmart, I saw them, and I was like, we're frickin' making these. So we're gonna make these adorable little jack-o'-lantern cookies. I don't usually like my pumpkins without a nose, so we're gonna try to add a nose in there. Hopefully that's doable. So let's have fun together and just enjoy the crisp autumn air. Wait a minute, I can't begin baking before I change into a more appropriate outfit. Right? I can feel the 90s mom Halloween energy just coursing through my veins right now. I am ready to go. Let's start with getting those apples chopped and into the frying pan. So today we're going to be following the recipe of the lovely Susan Pridmore, but of course you can follow any recipe for apple pies that you want. I just thought that this one was nicely detailed. So first we're going to cut up all of our Honey Crisp apples into little cubes. Once those are all chopped up nicely, I'm going to get my pan out and start to melt my 2 tablespoons of butter. As it coats the pan, I'm gonna add my apples to the pan and just kind of swish them around so that they're all coated in that butter. I'm gonna add my sugar, cinnamon, maybe a little bit more cinnamon, and then make sure that's all nicely coated and let it simmer. While that's simmering, I'm gonna weigh out my flour for my pie dough. and then also add in my salt, and then realize my bowl is too small and get out the larger one, as usual. I'm going to add my butter, vinegar, which is not shown, and then I'm going to stir that together while adding tablespoons of ice water and mixing it and adding and mixing it. And once the dough becomes raggedy looking and I can pinch a ball in my fingers, I'm going to pour the contents of the bowl onto the countertop, and it should be able to form together my dough. And guys, if you don't have a dough scraper, you need to get one immediately. It is essential for working with dough. I can't express that enough. I'm gonna get out my saran wrap and gently swaddle my little dough baby inside, and then let it chill for 20 minutes. The apples are looking good, but I added a little bit of extra sauce, just made out of sugar and water, to add a little bit of extra goo. Now that the pie filling is looking nice and gooey, let's get that pie crust out, because that was supposed to sit for an hour and it's been well over that. So, pie dough. This is looking so good. We're gonna sandwich between 2 pieces of wax paper, because that is what Susan said to do. So we're gonna listen to Susan. No! I'm taking it off. I'm never doing this again. I hate wax paper. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong, because lots of people use wax paper. There's our one guy. Oh my God, look at him. Looking good. We're gonna pop these in the freezer. And now we just wait for 10 minutes to pass, because you need to leave them in the freezer for 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, I'm gonna pull out the little bats, and I'm gonna try to cut mouths and like little slits in the wings. The recipe recommended filling them and then cutting out. I don't think I'm gonna do it that way. So I think I'm gonna go rogue here on Susan. Susan, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'm gonna cut out the faces when they're over the pie. I just don't see how that makes any sense. I feel like that sounds way harder. So I'm going to remove the pies, and then we're gonna cut out the faces and then put them in the freezer. How the hell do you get it out? How do you get it out? While the little bats are cooling, holding their shapes, let's move on to the cookie kit. So the directions say preheat oven. We've already done that. We're gonna combine the cookie mix, butter, and eggs until well blended. All right, let's get out our big bowl. And let's see what kind of treasures we have. Oh my God. How genius. So it's one cookie cutter. The one side is the face and the other side is the pumpkin shape. That's really smart. Oh, icing. Fun. Here is the mix. Normally I would do my own thing from scratch completely, but I wanted to see how these actually tasted. And then 2, we need to get flour. We only have bread flour left, which would be fine, I know, but 4 tablespoons of butter. Coming right up. Oh, let's get the eggs. We also need an egg for the bats too. Even though this was a box recipe, it doesn't mean you can't customize it a little bit. So I added a couple of splashes of cacao powder, and I think that made it a little bit dry. So I added some water, and then I think that made it way too gooey. Okay, this is way too gooey. So I ended up wrapping that up and putting that in the freezer. So now it's time to get those pies out and start filling them with our apple filling. And don't judge me for my pans, they're not perfect, okay? So we're gonna do a tablespoon of filling onto each of these little guys. I took even more edges to them. I took, my husband came down and he was like,
cookies, we're making cookies.
What if you used like the little temperature taker? So I used that and just kind of stuck a bunch of pins in them. So hopefully they're not gonna pop open and they'll be fine and we'll be good to go. So now, before we pop them in the oven, I'm going to take a egg and do some glazing and then put the little sugar crystals on them. It has been a little over 20 minutes, so let's take a little peek. Oh my God, right? Look at them. So happy. Oh God. Oh, you guys, this is not good. This is not good at all. See, it already crumbled. I think I'm gonna do these over. So I will cut back to when I've done these over. I think I'm gonna just roll them out way thicker because this thin, it just tears. It tears away from the face. I will be back with a thicker cookie. I did it. I just had to make them bigger, like thicker, and then the bottom part here survived that face cut. But like, oh my gosh, I wanted to do a nose. Remember when I said that? Remember when I said I wanted to do a nose? There's no space. There's no room to do a nose. And even if I did, if I went like teeny tiny little nose, it would, yeah, it wouldn't even show up. It'd close up. So no nose. That is fine. The chocolate jack-o'-lantern cookies are out of the oven. The bat pies are out of the oven, and I just have to ice the cookies. And then I'm gonna show you a little reveal and a taste test. Okay, you guys. They are here. They're out of the oven. I gave them like a little bit of time, obviously, to cool. I think I want to try the bat pie first. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. You really can't go wrong with butter, sugar, cinnamon, apples. It's going to taste good. Are you a pie person or a cake person? Because I am a pie person. It's the crust. It's just so good. Okay, the cookie. Let's try the cookie. They've smelled good this entire time. That's a really nice chocolatey flavor. And the frosting, let me taste the frosting. It's not too sweet. Usually the box mixes, like the frosting it comes with is, it's like sickening. I know I'm going to offend so many people when I say this, but like the Pillsbury frosting, the frosting you buy in the store, the prepackaged, I can't. It's too sweet. I can't do it. And both of these are lovely. They're like very mild. They're not too sugary. So, well, I had so much fun baking these with you guys. This was just like a quick little fun video. I just wanted to sneak this in because baking is so fun and it's a huge part of the holiday season. So I hope that you guys are taking the time to enjoy, even if you're not a baker, buying a pie. There's no shame in buying a pie. There's so many good pies. Like, sometimes you just don't have the time. Let me know in the comments what your favorite sweet treat is of this holiday season. And I hope that you had a fun little time with me. Love you all, my cute and creepy friends, and I will see you in my next video.